Seja muito bem-vindo à segunda parte do seu programa de Câmaras on Camera. Nesta parte, iremos continuar com este grande evento do WebSummit.
O Undercover é uma forma de transformar qualquer jogo mobile num jogo social, ou seja, queremos adicionar a componente social real aos jogos mobile. Em vez de jogarmos sozinhos num tablet ou num smartphone, a ideia aqui é colocarmos um tablet no meio de uma mesa e as pessoas se juntarem à volta dessa mesa e jogarem em conjunto. Temos uma série de jogos de cartas, jogos de quiz, jogos de dominó que podemos jogar em conjunto no tablet com as nossas aplicações. É muito simples, é descarregar as aplicações, comprar no nosso site ou nas lojas, comprar os acessórios que permitem esconder o jogo entre os vários jogadores. Desta forma, eu não vejo o jogo do jogador da frente e ele não vê o meu jogo também. E podemos jogar jogos como, por exemplo, neste caso é o jogo do peixinho, que é um jogo que toda a gente conhece, que nós atualizamos e adaptamos para esta plataforma. Família de férias, um dia à noite queríamos jogar um jogo, tínhamos um tablet, queríamos jogar um jogo em conjunto e não havia soluções. Então aí surgiu a ideia de... Percebemos que não havia soluções porque não dá para jogar jogos em conjunto num tablet, porque toda a gente vê o jogo de toda a gente. Surgiu a ideia de desenvolver estes acessórios que permitem justamente fazer esses jogos para toda a família. Toda a família agora se pode juntar à volta de um tablet e fazer atividades em conjunto de jogos de cartas tradicionais que nós demos uma nova roupagem para se tornarem mais atuais e para que as crianças gostem desses jogos. Temos os jogos de dominós, jogos também para adultos, como queremos que que o Undercover seja parte de mais um elemento da família. Temos jogos para os pais, para os filhos, para os adultos, sejam adolescentes, sejam crianças. O WebSummit é uma ótima oportunidade para mostrar o nosso produto, encontrar parcerias, estabelecer redes de parcerias e também investidores e trabalhar um pouco nesse sentido.
So Spark Horizon is on a mission to accelerate EV adoption by democratizing electric mobility. So we're building a denser network based on actually a partnership with brands that will basically sponsor the free electricity for local communities. So we're working on an open access, free-to-use charging network for local communities to basically charge their car free of charge. Basically, we were looking at the main issues about electric vehicle adoption, meaning the first one, which is the price of cars, the second one, which is the density, and the third one, which is like how to integrate charging into the daily routine. Yeah? And we're basically solving the two last issues, so making a denser network, a denser charging network with a better business model and more revenue, and also like having a charging station that is linked to the places of interest of people. So included into their daily routine, when they go shopping, when they go to sport venues, when they go wherever, restaurants and hotels and everything. Yeah. So I sort of went to first I really like Portugal and Lisbon. So I've been in Lisbon for the last 4 times in the last 8 months. So I was there also beginning of June for the Lisbon Investment Summit. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's a great place, and I'm actually, so now we're based in Paris, and I'm looking into like potentially like put also like part of the team here in Lisbon. Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now that I'm in contacts with a city here in Portugal that is not far from Lisbon to actually create a pilot project of charging infrastructure. So probably you could guess about 20 minutes from Lisbon, and it's potentially where Spark Horizon will start like building the infrastructure. Yeah. Yeah, so the website is www.sparkhorizon.com, and yeah, and if you can see, this is the charging stations. This is me, and this is the first couple of installations that we're doing in Zurich, in Switzerland.
So Pontem targets Jira users by analyzing their data, their raw data from Jira, and giving them a holistic view over the sprint, over the period of time they've committed to deliver something. So if an R&D team leader currently commits to specific content, and he wants to know exactly where he stands, currently he has no such tool. He needs to go over and ask each and every one of his team members what's their status and what's holding them back. So this is going to resolve this. This integrates with Jira, takes its raw data, and crunches it down and gives you an intelligent metrics which will show you and predicts where you're gonna be along the sprint. Okay, so if, for example, you're in the middle of a sprint, like say you're a week ahead, you want to know if you're gonna eventually deliver what you've promised, then you're gonna look at this, and it's gonna show you the current velocity, what's holding you back, how can you resolve the situation if, for example, you want to reassign a task from someone who's late to someone who's working better than expected. You can reassign it, and after you get to the picture you want you're happy with, you click save, and everything is saved directly to Jira, and everyone keeps working the same way they already worked. It doesn't change anything in their current way of working. The feedback's been great. I've talked to several team leaders by myself, several others have just been sort of interviewed online, and they all say that this really gives them real value. The purpose now is to get, as you said, a real feedback, to see that it gives real value to team leaders, that it helps them on the day-to-day basis, and take it from there. That's it. First of all, I'm really interested in technology. It's really fun to see all these great guys with all these great, amazing ideas, and of course to meet new people and maybe cooperate with investors and with new startups. I've already, I think, got like 10 other companies who want to cooperate with me, which is very great. And that's about it. And of course, I've heard a lot about WebSummit and all the people that come here to see new ideas. It's really exciting.
The Trump campaign, I thought, managed to kind of divide. You know, they associated some of the Hollywood support for Hillary and painted it in quite a negative way that seemed to play well with Trump voters. Did you sense any of that? Or
well, I think it's also because there was so much in the media that was trying to mock, like trying to do a level of celebrities and like,
right.
Oh, you know, that Clinton was able to get these A-list kind of folks, and Trump was getting
He was
these
getting the real
B-list
people.
kind of people. And it's like, I think that's where a lot of that came from, and sort of just making it about branding. But the reality is both of those people were big names in the vernacular of the planet for decades. You know, I grew up with Trump in New York. And Clinton's obviously always been a figure as well for such a long time. So, I mean, ultimately, it was this was a meme election. This was about branding and the fact that the actual people who were running for office were celebrities of a certain type.
Right.
So it was a weird thing to kind of bring up, but it just was, again, a lot of ridiculousness. I mean, it was just about kind of, again, scapegoating a major conversation and kind of belittling it and distracting us from what were the real issues and things. And, you know, with Voto Latino, we had been nonpartisan. We still are nonpartisan. This was the first time I'd ever lent my name to a candidate, and I was just really excited to do that with the opportunity of having a grassroots presidency.
And you were all in for Bernie, right? I mean,
I was his surrogate, and I was a delegate for California, and so I really went through the whole process. And you know, and it was, you know, I learned quite a lot. But, you know, this is a really remarkable point in time, you know, where folks like them have had a lot of privilege through their successes that have given them a kind of leverage that the average person didn't have before. And now that's not true. You know, exactly what you're talking about with social media is, you know, as everyone, you know, I did a panel here with Nigel Farage and a couple people from the Trump campaign and they're, you know, they're trying to go social media needs to be held accountable.
You took on quite a big public profile recently with an interview you gave about an experience you had with a magazine. Why don't you tell us about that and tell us the sort of how you came about, how that came about?
Definitely. So, you know, models nowadays have... Thank you,
For the hometown hero, right? This is it.
It's my country.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of my country. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you, guys. So coming back to the story. So, you know, models nowadays, you know, we're not just pretty faces that have no voices. Social media really has changed the whole industry. And you know, with all the when the all Weinstein scandal came out and more people start speaking out, and I had a situation that happened to me almost at the same time. And you know, when you have millions, you have such a big audience, you have a direct contact to millions of people, and people that you start having a responsibility. And to me, I had a situation that happened to me. I had a good team around me that could advise me on how to handle it, and we decided together that this was, timing-wise, was pretty important to come out and tell and call out in a particular. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. It's a lot of people. And we could call out by name someone or a magazine that it's something that it's not right.
Right.
And that was very important for me to be able to do that, and not just using your voice, using your social media to put beautiful pictures, but you know, maybe I can help other people not going through what I did, and that's when your social media and your celebrity becomes, you kind of have a duty to do that.
Right, and you have a large social media footprint, right? Like 9 million. People across Facebook and
Twitter and Instagram,
right. So do you feel that I mean, you know, 20 years ago, 10 years ago even, you wouldn't have had models, actresses, entertainers with such a direct route
definitely not
to the public. So how,
you know,
there's more responsibility, or you have more responsibility now, don't you?
Definitely more responsibility and a bigger voice. You know, like, someone is gonna think twice before doing something to you when you can go directly and just accuse that person of what they did and call them out directly to this big, broad audience. And the same thing to actually talk about things that you're really passionate about. And like charities and subjects that are really important to us. And you can really come through and get your message or other people's messages as well. Because, and it's really, it becomes a really important part of your celebrity persona.
Martin is the #1 DJ in the world. What you've kind of grown up, naturalized to social media and to digital culture. What has that kind of given you, right from day one?
Well, for me, technology is a big part of my life. I started with the guitar, writing songs on the guitar, and then I always had to grab the guitar when I wanted to present a song to someone. And then I did some research on the internet, found this software program that I could produce my own music with, and I just started putting melodies, chord progressions into the computer, adding kick drums to it, and just having fun. And for me, I wouldn't be sitting here if I couldn't put my ideas in the computer. So for me, technology definitely played a big part in the start for me. Of course, right now, I love recording real instruments, but and also for me, social media is definitely a way that I can connect with the fans, and I also feel like it makes the world way smaller. Like you can be, how I say it, I feel like for me, whenever I'm here, it's not only the people here who can share this experience, it's the whole world who can watch that. And for me, I'm very, very happy that technology exists.
Yeah?
You sound nice, man.
Yeah. I'm a start, right? But I'm a hustler, so I can't give you too much information. Because I'm trying to.
We're not going to steal your intellectual property, Wyclef.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, but on the real, I feel I love the streaming services. And I think for me as an audio engineer who grew up listening to like Pink Floyd, The Wall, I think that as music keeps innovative and it keeps getting better, I want to start hearing it in a more natural form, like we record it in the studio. So what happens is everything is coming through a stereo bus. But when we put on the headphone at times, when we listen to Pink Floyd, The Wall, we get that binaural experience. So as the future moves forward, I would like to feel an audio experience that's intimate, like Babyface is right there with me in the room,
holding you
as it's being created. So we're not talking about a 5.1 or a 7.1 experience. We're talking about an infinite binaural experience. So I want to see more experiment with the stems, like, so when Wyclef does a track, Babyface does a track, what happens if Deezer gets the stems, for example, and it spits out a different algorithm, and when you put on your headphone, the experience is different. So that's some of the stuff that I'm looking forward to hearing in different platforms in the future.
Mr. President, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, dear Patty. You allow me?
Absolutely.
Well, it's not fair just after all gone. It's not easy. But I have 5 words to say in 5 minutes. I try my best. First one, gratitude. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you, Portugal.
Thanks to your team that set up this wonderful WebSummit. And thanks to the Portuguese government and the municipality of Lisbon. But mostly, thank you all of you. You are the reason of the success of this WebSummit. Thank you. Third word, congratulations. Olga has already said it. Congratulations to all of you and many, many more all over the world. Thousands of people. You are making a revolution, a scientific and technological revolution. Not only you have the revolution in your DNA, but you are the fifth, the sixth, the seventh wave of this revolution. It's still going on, far away from its end. You are the transformers, because you are changing the world. You are changing economies and societies and culture and the way of living. And then a fourth word, worry. I'm worried with many politicians. Not all of them, but many, too many decision makers. They deny reality. They deny climate change. We Portugal, and I'm the president of all Portuguese, we stick to Paris Agreement. We want it today, we want it for the future. I hope that our meeting point, not just next year, but in 2019, 2020, is Lisbon, Portugal. I hope because we deserve it. Portugal deserves it, Lisbon deserves it. And so, anyway, next year, same time, same place, see you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
E assim terminamos o seu programa de Câmaras on Camera. Eu sou Soraya e foi com muito agrado que estive consigo no WebSummit e amanhã, quem sabe, estaremos juntos em mais um programa de Câmaras on Camera e talvez no seu município.